On the 19th of July 2013, at around 6:30 p.m., tragedy struck at the Texas Giant roller coaster ride at Six Flags, when a 52-year-old woman was thrown from her seat, falling to her death. Only later on would people find out what really happened that day. Six Flags Over Texas in Arlington, Texas, the Texas Giant, a wooden roller coaster standing 14 stories high, first opened in 1990. The ride was reintroduced on April 22, 2011, with a steel track, making it a rare hybrid coaster with both steel and wooden elements. According to the Six Flags Over Texas website, the Texas Giant has the world's steepest drop, with a descent of 79 degrees. The coaster is also capable of carrying up to 24 riders. In 2012, Six Flags Over Texas completed a major overhaul of the Texas Giant, spending $10 million on the ride's renovation to make it faster, higher, and more thrilling. The upgrade and remodel included the addition of the new steel track, just in time for its 20th birthday. The new design was met with enthusiasm from riders, praising the updated roller coaster for its thrilling drops and turns. However, the ride was also criticized for its seat restraints, which some riders found to be uncomfortable and not very secure. On July 19, 2013, a woman named Rosa Ayala Gowana was waiting in line with her family, getting ready to enjoy the Texas Giant's roller coaster. The park attendants directed those in line to various sections of the attraction, and Rosa was directed to sit alone in the third row of the carts on the park's signature ride, right behind her family. A seemingly innocent ride amongst family members took off high speed into the evening. However, the ride turned deadly when Rosa was thrown from her seat during the steep descent from the first large hill of the track. Rosa had fell 75 feet and then struck a metal support beam. After various 911 calls were made by parkgoers who witnessed the fall, the Arlington Fire Department used a ladder truck to reach Rosa's body, which had fallen onto a platform below the roller coaster. A funeral home vehicle arrived to take away Rosa's body on Friday evening. Witnesses reported that as people were coming back to the station, riders of the Texas Giant were crying hysterically and knew something had gone horribly wrong. According to a family who was in line behind Rosa, she was riding with her daughter and son-in-law. The family said that her seat restraint seemed to go down normally before the cart left, and when the train came back, the seat restraint was down. Additionally, the family said that the woman's daughter and son-in-law were calling for help during the duration of the ride and were screaming, "We need to go get my mom." Other park visitors said that they saw a woman fall from the roller coaster, and witnesses reported that workers on the ride directed paramedics to the victim's location immediately. Workers of the Texas Giant also checked the restraints on the car after the accident. The people that were waiting in line for the Texas Giant roller coaster said that park employees immediately asked them to get out of the line after the accident, not explaining to them about what had just happened. It took firefighters an entire hour to find Rosa's body, which was partially wrapped around a support beam, with her lower body lying on top of the roof and her nearly severed upper body hanging over the south side of the roof. The roller coaster operator remembered thinking that Rosa's restraint was not all the way down on her thigh. However, the restraint was secure enough that the ride's computer registered it as locked, so they allowed the ride to take off anyway. Rosa's daughter said that she turned around and saw her mother's body upside down early in the ride's takeoff, and other witnesses sitting directly behind the victim said that they tried to help when they saw Rosa's feet in the air, but were unable to reach her. She was seated by herself in a car behind her daughter and son-in-law during the fatal accident. An autopsy report would later reveal that Rosa suffered from extensive trauma to the torso due to her fall from the ride, and the cause of death was determined to be multiple traumatic injuries. According to officials, the name listed on the autopsy report was Rosa Ayala Gowana, which was different from the name that her family had given to the media. Her family members said that the woman's legal name was Rosie Esparza. An amusement park accident analyst who had investigated similar accidents before suggested that the way Rosa fit into the seat may have been a contributing factor to her fall and ultimately her death. However, there is no federal agency that regulates amusement parks, and the only state oversight in Texas is the Texas Department of Insurance. The state requires two things. The first is proof that a certified engineer approves the ride under manufacturer specifications or national standards, whichever is stricter. The second requirement is that the park has at least a $1 million insurance policy per ride against accidents. The incident was beyond a tragedy for Rose's family, and also raised extreme concerns about the safety of amusement park rides. While Texas has regulations in place to ensure that rides are inspected and insured, accidents like this one demonstrate that more oversight is certainly needed to prevent future tragedies. The investigation into the incident focused on whether Rose's size was a factor in her tragic death. Engineers designing roller coasters must take into account that riders come in all shapes and sizes, and investigators need to look at whether her size prevented her restraints from protecting her. Rose's death also had a profound impact on her community. Neighbors described her as the best neighbor you could ask for. The tragedy left them devastated. Rose's family filed a lawsuit against Six Flags in district court. The lawsuit claimed that Six Flags was liable for Rose's death, alleging that the company failed to properly inspect and maintain the ride, and that the restraint system was defective. The amusement park, however, argued that independent contractors were responsible for the design of the restraint system, and therefore liable for the incident. The incident prompted Six Flags to temporarily close the Texas Giant for 2 months after the tragic 75-foot fall. But it eventually reopened after the investigation was complete. The roller coaster, however, was never the same. Many visitors were reluctant to ride it. According to state safety records, there had only been 4 reportable injuries on the ride before Rose's death. When the Texas Giant reopened, it included a new coaster seat located at the entrance of the ride, so that guests with unique body shapes or sizes would be able to test how they fit into the seat before getting in line. Six Flags also ensured new patrons that the ride had always been in working order, and the incident was due to a human behavior type of issue. The incident also highlighted the lack of federal oversight over amusement park safety. In response to the incident, Six Flags implemented additional safety measures, including new restraint systems on some of its roller coasters. The amusement park also increased training for its employees and conducted more frequent inspections of its rides. However, the incident served as a stark reminder that no one is completely risk-free. Despite the efforts of amusement parks to ensure the safety of their visitors, accidents can and do happen. Visitors must understand the risks associated with riding roller coasters and other amusement park attractions, and take appropriate precautions to protect themselves. Six Flags said in a prepared statement that all sides had reached an agreement in the July 19, 2013 death of Rosa Esparza. An attorney for the ride maker said the settlement included a payment to the plaintiffs but no determination of fault. The Texas Giant ride is still open today.